You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like a clown like you.
I'm Peter Venkman.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Kind of a big deal.
The first rule of Fight Club is do not talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, baby!
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is a special episode comprised of not one but two pilots for what would become Frame by Frame. Buckle up, brace yourself. Also note, we love Scarlett Johansson. We do note that she is somewhat managed by media in a way that doesn't always help her career. Also, it's easy to fall prey to typecasting. She is talented and worthy of so many other challenges that go beyond tight costume-wearing superheroes, mute alien sex critters and anti-hero mutants, which in our case as hosts of Frame by Frame is just another Tuesday night at home. Haha.
Here at Cinedyne, we understand that there is a time and a place for watching blockbuster movies. And there is also a time and a place for enjoying quick and easy food. That time is Cinedyne. We've combined the state-of-the-art movie ritual within our fast-growing chain of multiplex cinemas with the must-have dining experience. Your attention and enjoyment of popcorn movies is enhanced by 3,000% thanks to our fully disclosed secret ingredient which you can enjoy within all of your favorite food items. Popcorn, hot dogs, nachos with Ed's special liquid cheese, and not to mention our Cinedyne menu with food suitable for all ages, religions, and counterculture professionals. At Cinedyne, we are proud to use British meat, which is also suitable for all vegetarians, vegans, and diabetics. And for those fussy little children who are ready to sit down and glance occasionally at the screen, every food item contains sherbet of some description. Even our economically sized popcorn boxes are edible.
That's right! You can even eat the plates, Dad!
That's right, little one. Cinedyne has listened, and we know what makes your next movie experience the best one you've ever had. Until next time, that is. Cinedyne. Fanatical about food.
What's in the box?
My name's Lucia. What happened? What did you do to my stomach? What's going on?
So, luckily because we work at Cinedyne, we get staff showings and
That's
films,
right.
and we
Very fortunate that we actually get to watch films as well as sample all the fantastic cuisine that we do have at
Yes.
Cinedyne.
popcorn, hot dogs, nachos, liquid cheese.
Oh, please stop.
So, Steve, my boy,
Yay!
we've just got back from a lovely staff showing of Lucy.
Lucy.
Yes, Luke Besson's most. It's a film.
It's definitely of a film nature.
We've merely slipped a little package into your lower tummy.
And you're going to transport something very special to us.
So it goes from the premise that allegedly we use 10% of our brain. That's not true, by the way, and I think I've read that Luke Besson actually knows that, but as the narrative for his film, he'd rather lie and say we used only 10% of our brain. It's a number. It's a 10. It's a number.
It's a fiction.
Yeah.
It's an idea. It's an old wives' tale. I guess you've got to make a film about that sometime.
Yeah.
Or
thank God.
I'm glad he did, because nobody else has actually tried yet.
Scarlett Johansson's in it.
She's doing well at the moment.
She's doing well.
She hasn't been in a lot of pretty movies. I mean, I was surprised she hasn't made Little Women yet, or some sort of Pride and Prejudice, but she's not going for that angle. She's very... she doesn't like a lot of dialogue.
No. Yeah, because in fact it runs... this runs quite a good companion piece to Under the Skin, if you think about it.
Yes, but is she kind of falling into that dangerous path of being typecast as just a catwalk actress?
No, I don't think so, because in the Marvel films that she's in, she's rather kick-ass.
But she's not really the science fiction goddess I was expecting to come along. She's not the Sigourney Weaver of the 210s.
No, she's definitely not that.
No.
She's definitely not that.
But she has a look.
She's the queen of the geekdom, I'd say.
That she kind of has this Marilyn Monroe thing going on, but in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me explain it to you. In real life, she's Marilyn Monroe in the movies. Okay, she's looking glamorous. She's doing all these fanciful things. But then in Marilyn Monroe's real life, Scarlett Johansson is living all the roughness and the surliness and the shittiness that she had that Marilyn Monroe had in her real life. So she's playing those out in the movies. So it's kind of like that's kind of how I see her. I don't see her as being Scarlett Johansson or Johansson in real life. She's playing Marilyn Monroe. I mean,
how much percentage of her brain did Marilyn Monroe use?
How much percentage was in the bubbly that she was drinking? Probably 6%.
6%?
Yeah, it must be 6%. Yeah, at any one time, because she's using all of her brain. It's just it's swishing around like a bottle of bubbly.
So what did you think of the film then?
It's just a mess. It's just a visual mess. It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of it. She takes this drug and brain. She's using a bigger capacity of her brain. It's increasing exponentially. It's a good idea. I like the idea of it.
It's a good idea. Yeah. Up to about 30%, which was interesting, and then it just got a bit.
Yeah.
And I just kept
that whole ending bit it didn't even have to be in there.
It didn't make sense.
No, it
didn't make sense. They just didn't know what they were going to do, so they just had to take it to the extreme and push it to places where, yeah, just like that, just like a leaf crumbling. It was just that's kind of the movie. You just actually personified exactly what was going on in the movie. It just got crunched up like a rusty old leaf. It just lost its way. There's no way in. I mean, it's a man-made drug. Okay, let me just remind you again. It was a man-made drug that they found inside of her, that he planted inside of her.
Yeah. Now they're saying this drug. Is it a chemical that they find?
It's a chemical. Yeah.
That's in a woman when a fetus, when she's given birth, or when the fetus is it's sort of developing. This drug comes up, and they've never harnessed it, but they found these scientists have harnessed this drug. Which is
a bizarre thing, because then you're saying that every single baby knows everything about the world. That there's something in there that they could just channel and then.
Well,
just
I think they say this drug it just helps a baby develop from in a fetus stage. It builds its bones and things like that.
But it does not teach you Mandarin. It does not teach you how to use a gun.
Yeah, so once she's 20%.
Yeah.
She could just look at Mandarin. And it turns into English, and she can read it.
Which is missing the point.
Yeah, it's exactly missing the point, because what she should have done is got a book on Mandarin and read it dead quick, and then she knows Mandarin. But not just know it. You still have to learn. The brain still has to learn.
Yeah, it's not as if it's something that every single person has the capacity to actually already know everything about humanity.
Unless.
Okay.
Right, but bear with me with this. Right, there's that little scene when she's on the phone to her mum.
Yes.
She starts to show a bit of emotions coming on, and she says she could remember what it felt like to pet a cat. That was it. When she pet a cat when she was barely 1 year old, and she shouldn't be able to remember that, but she can remember how it felt on her skin.
Yeah.
So perhaps she can remember all the Jackie Chan films she watched growing up, and
piece it together,
especially in a lot of the earlier you'd have the Mandarin, the Cantonese, and the English as subtitles. So maybe she's just remembering it that way.
Maybe okay, that's true of evolution, that we've got that capacity inside of us, but we can't turn into a computer because that's not a part of our evolutionary process.
No, she does at one point. Spoilers, turns into a. Does she turn? What does she turn into? She builds a computer, doesn't she?
She turns into a computer.
Does she turn? I think she turns into everything.
She turns into everything, and that everything is the primordial ooze, I'm guessing, or is it like it's Marmite, isn't it?
Well, that is
Vegemite.
That is the primordial.
She turns into Vegemite, and yeah, spoilers, of course.
Yes? Professor Norman, my name's Lucy. I just read all your research on the human brain. It's a little rudimentary, but you're on the right track.
Thank you.
So Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Exposition Freeman.
That is his new name. Well, actually, it's been his name since Shawshank Redemption, I'd say.
Yeah.
Since he began that whole narration thing.
Yeah.
He can narrate himself out of any paper bag and make it sound good.
It is estimated most human beings only use 10% of their brain's capacity. Imagine if we could access 100%. Interesting things begin to happen.
The pseudoscience in this movie, I think he just went a little bit too... I mean, what was his role at the end? I mean, what was he...
Yeah, he didn't... he got given a pen drive, didn't he?
That was a pen... I just thought it was a USB cable. I didn't see a drive on there.
This thing comes out, he just grabs it. It all dissolves.
Yeah.
Now this is... Oh, and that's the knowledge to everything, apparently.
That's what I'm trying to say, was what was the point of the film, other than to reach 100%. She got to 97%, and she became the decorator, painter and decorator.
Yeah, it was 96.2% was the painter and decorator stage, where she very quickly, didn't see it, but she painted a complete white room.
Yeah. Wasn't light, not light.
Not light, it was just white.
Just a white painted room.
Yeah. One thing I was very impressed with was the computers were very, very quick.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what Windows were they operating on?
I don't know.
I mean, that wasn't Apple. That wasn't. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I'm trying to look up information, especially when she's able to read his entire research, all of his research is online as well.
When she borrows, when she borrows a friend's laptop, it's just window, and she's like, yeah.
It would have blown up. The computer would have exploded.
No computer's that fast. What's going on? Is it a film that you should just go in, leave your brain at the door, and just watch it?
Well, if you think about it, when that first scene where she gets kicked in, she's left alone, and all of a sudden she starts to change. And the first thing that we see, we go, what?
Yeah.
She crawls up the wall.
She defies gravity.
I said to you, I'm hoping that this is actually just in her imagination. This is like a trip to her. We're seeing how she would actually see things.
Having watched the rest of the film, do you still think it was in her head? Or do you think...
I don't think she left that room. Just an idea.
I think you're giving the film too much credit there. That would be interesting if she never left the room and that it all just took place in there. But
it's the whole Robin Williams taking marijuana with your friends and sitting on the couch and going on an adventure thing, and then realizing that you're actually always on your couch the whole time. I'd like to think that's if this film was intelligent in any way, that would be it. But
I don't think so.
So did it pass the
Bechdel test?
No, it did not.
Two girls talking about a guy?
Yeah. When she goes to her apartment and she's using that very fast laptop.
She's talking about guys!
Yeah, so it even failed that. Okay, so would you recommend the film?
I wouldn't. I think you can spend your money on much better movie material. Something that's got a little bit of thought, something that's thought-provoking, that doesn't insult your intelligence.
No, I wouldn't recommend it either. I'm offended by it. I thought it was crap.
cassette.
The horrific movie event of the year is here on video cassette. CACO3. Get your copy now while stocks last. Coming to get you at all participating media type branches.
And now for our feature presentation.
You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like a clown. You.
I'm Peter Venkman. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
I'm kind of a big deal.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
It's right. Yeah, baby.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Introduce both of us into
Okay.
that.
Hi there, I'm Stephen, and this is Andy.
Or otherwise known in Japan, Andy and Stephen.
And we're fanatical about food.
Film.
Food.
Film. It's about film.
We're fanatical about film.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Popcorn, hot dogs, nachos with Ed's special liquid cheese, and not to mention our City Dine menu, with food suitable for all ages, religions, and counterculture professionals. At City Dine, we are proud to use British meat, which is also suitable for all vegetarians, vegans, and diabetics. Yay! Cinedine has listened, and we know what makes your next movie experience the best one you've ever had. Until next time, that is. Cinedine. Fanatical about food. So, we saw the new Godzilla film last week.
We did.
What did you think about it?
I want to talk to somebody in charge.
You are not fooling anybody when you say that what happened was a natural disaster.
You're lying.
It was not an earthquake. It wasn't a typhoon.
Because what's really happening is that you're hiding something out there. And it is going to send us back to the Stone Age.
But you've seen Godzilla before this.
What? This only just come out, 2014.
The Godzilla movie, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But there have been Godzilla movies before this one.
Godzilla か溶卵ってか果たして人類は生き残れるのか
Many Godzilla movies. In fact, there's been over 25 sequels. I think this might be the 26th. I might be wrong.
So that would suggest that Hollywood keep rehashing old ideas because they can't think of new ones?
Actually, this is slightly different because Japan made it, then America ripped it off, and then Japan tried to remake it to kind of get it back to where it was supposed to be, but then America kind of kept on going, oh no, we want monster movie. And so that's kind of been happening ever since 1954. 1954 was the original. Was when the original Godzilla. It sounded like Godzilla when he said it in the movie. Godzilla.
制作費1億6ヶ月のスポンが生んだ世紀の巨編ゴジラ。映画技術の粋を集め大東宝が全能力を上げた空前のスペクタクルゴジラ。本年最大の話題作ゴジラ。
Monsters, money. Monsters, money.
Godzilla, king of the monsters, alive, surging up from the depths of the sea on a tidal wave of terror to wreak vengeance on mankind. Godzilla, king of the monsters, it's alive, a gigantic beast, stalking the earth, crushing all before it, in a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror, raging through the streets on a rampage of total destruction. Godzilla, king of the monsters.
Monsters?
Gareth Edwards.
Money. Testing me.
This made now. He did a film called Monsters. Its opening weekend, it has made a ludicrous amount of money.
This latest
no,
one.
He made that.
Yes.
On a
2014 one, directed by. Yeah, that's true. He did.
There's a link there.
There is a link because he directed that movie.
From what I understand, he he took a redundancy package, bought a really expensive camera, went and made a film, did all the effects in his bedroom on a computer.
Yep.
And he made, I think, a pretty good film there with monsters.
What is that?
What I really enjoyed about it is the monsters weren't really when you see the monsters,
they were
beautiful.
Really.
Yeah, because it was just about this couple, and they get along, they fall out, there's this friction, they're just trying to get to the borders of America. They're very well done, very well designed.
Simple, very simple, and that's the beauty of that, is that there was no need to go too far with the design, with the extravagance, with the size of it.
No.
But I kind of get the feeling that for a film like Godzilla, when he's making Godzilla, there's so much pressure to have Godzilla as this massive entity. To have people want to see every inch of him.
And you do.
And you do. To a certain degree, but there was a lot of complaints about this movie saying that you don't see Godzilla until about 40 minutes into it.
Out of all the things that I criticised the film for, that wouldn't be one of them. Well, taking Monsters and now Godzilla, do you think he's been able to keep his cult sensibilities with this blockbuster?
I kind of feel sorry for him in a way, because Monsters he was able to have complete control over everything. But now he's got like a team of thousands of people below him, and about probably 20 or so producers above him from different areas, all putting pressure on him. So, and if you've seen interviews with Gareth, he's very, very modest, very quiet. He's kind of like the Nick Park of the movie industry.
You wouldn't think he's just made a £100 million movie.
Exactly, but that's that's the kind of person we want in making films, because I don't think he's going to let ego run away with him, but I think that the pressure is going to get bigger and bigger, and I think he's going to need the support. And that's why, you know, I like that he directed this film, because he didn't come in with that Michael Bay arrogance, I have to say. He came in with it as much freshness as possible, but still, the nature of it was, it is a monster movie.
When I found out this film was coming out and who was directing it, I was really, really excited. I couldn't wait to see it.
Because it was directed by the guy who did Monsters.
Yes.
And yeah. So you wouldn't have thought that he would have made the film that he's made and they actually end up making.
Well, when I came out of that screen, I felt bad. I felt let down. I felt cheated.
And I think that is simply because
were used as beacons,
it's
distress beacons.
They were used as
It is a blockbuster
lighthouses.
movie.
They were used as props. The one thing that got in the way of that were the characters in the film, and the way that the characters. Pretty much how they were in Twister in a way, with basically just saying a few things every so often to give exposition, you know, because people need to know what's going on, of course, but unfortunately...
Too much exposition, though.
Yeah.
You know, at certain parts of this film I felt insulted. It's like, you know, okay, yeah, we think we're, as humans, are so fantastic and so at the very pinnacle of evolution, but nature's always got control of us. I know that.
Yes, we don't need to be told.
It was in the film. I can see that in the film.
We can get that, yeah.
I don't need a big, massive speech.
Banner, here we go. And the film actually has banners in it as a motif.
Yeah, it does.
But I didn't realise that the motif was actually going to become the dialogue as well, because they were making a lot of banner statements in this film that they didn't really need to say. They just said it for effect. They needed to have a Japanese guy as well there, saying all these fantastical things with dramatic pause. Everybody stops what they're doing. Listen to the guy. He's bringing the soul, the Japanese soul, back into this film by saying dramatic lines that really don't have any impact, unless you're like you say. It's already implied. Nature is so much more powerful than mankind. We are not the top of the food chain in this movie. That's obvious.
Exactly.
But do we need to be told?
Time.
We can see it.
Time again. It's in the story. I don't need you to keep telling me.
Yeah. I mean, and it's been told in so many. And the thing is, this film is exactly the same as Independence Day or any other film, any Transformer film, Pacific Rim, anything like that, where it's humans need to have massive things in order for the story to work. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't, but I will say it's better than anything Michael Bay's put out.
That's true. Now that's the positive thing about this, and I think that my attitude changed after I watched the original Godzilla, and I kind of did a bit of research in the 26 different films, and there have been a lot of weird sequels, weird versions of this movie. Much to say that the most talked about remake of Godzilla was the 1998 film, which ripped a hole in the whole fabric.
That was a Jurassic Park film, wasn't it?
Yes, you were right. It was a sequel to a Jurassic Park type of film.
I thought it didn't say Jurassic Park. A million subheading Godzilla.
Yeah, there was a slight resemblance to Godzilla in it, but I don't think that was the intention. I mean, that film, it was another one of those films where Godzilla is actually, he's scaving buildings, but the US Apache, you know, and it sounds like we're very anti-American, but we're not. We love American films. There are a lot of amazing films that come out of America, but it's the obsession with big, high-powered blockbuster films and the fact that we need to kind of see human beings acting like crazy lunatics, destroying their own city.
Descend to 300 feet. Lasers on. All systems on.
Target 11 o'clock.
That's what I mean, but that's what bothers me, and I think that we're getting too many of these films are coming out where things are getting destroyed. Cities are again being destroyed.
Landmarks are getting destroyed.
Landmarks, however, not typical landmarks, and I thought that was quite brave in this movie too, because I got confused. Because I was geographically.
I will say that Stephen here thought that at one part we were in Paris. Even though they said they're in the Nevada desert.
I got confused. I thought, well, there's another monster coming across. And I thought, well, these monsters want to go across the whole of the United States. And I thought that they have to destroy New York, right? So my imagining was that the other one was actually going to make its way from Paris through to... And of course, my instinct was they'll ignore the destruction of Paris. They'll just show the Eiffel Tower collapsing, and then they'll move across to New York because that's what everybody wants to see. But apparently, that didn't happen.
No, it was the Eiffel Tower, the mock Eiffel Tower in
Las Vegas.
Look at that. It's the Eiffel Tower in Las Vegas.
And the Statue of Liberty was also in the trailer, which is in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Of course. The original's in Paris.
What?
The original Statue of Liberty is in Paris.
It is, that's true.
Yeah. So, forgive me for being for not following the plot. But, yeah, I mean...
Well, you know, with a plot that loose, it's easy to not
it's a spectacle.
think about it.
It's a film where all these things are happening, and it's like, well, you know...
I'm sorry, but Nolan, Christopher Nolan showed us that you can have a big spectacle movie and still have brains in it.
You can. Yeah.
But not in this film.
No, but... it was such a shame, because Darabont, who was famous for penning The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, he actually had a go at the script before it was finalised. He inserted those emotional scenes between Juliette Binoche and Bryan Cranston's characters.
Which people that connect.
Yeah, which kind of unfortunately became a formulaic setup and a formulaic payoff.
Absolutely, yeah.
But,
it was, when when he says, "Oh, it's my birthday. Thank you."
Oh, I love you.
I love you. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, you go off to work.
You go off to work. You go down.
You can start. Don't worry about being.
It's gonna be fine.
It's
go downstairs.
It's gonna be crazy up here. You go down. You go down.
So before anything happens, she's gonna die.
Yeah, it was that whole. It was that dead meat scene from Hot Shots Part 2. No, sorry, it was that dead meat scene from Hot Shots.
Yeah.
So it's too obvious. They put it in there, and even when she is dying, when she's standing there at the glass, spoilers. Spoiler alert. Did I say spoiler alert?
Yeah.
But, yeah. These things apparently you have to say spoiler alert, but we'll just let people know there are spoilers in this thing. Okay.
Put it in the description.
She's standing there, and that's it. There's a moment between the two that doesn't fill you with emotion.
No, I didn't. I was never worried about any character in this film.
No.
I wasn't worried that anyone might be a goner.
It didn't matter.
One of my main problems with this was wherever the main guy goes, who is a bomb expert, by the way. That's the
son of Bryan Cranston's
Yeah,
character.
the son.
Yeah,
he's a bomb expert, so that might come in handy at some point in the film.
Exactly what I was thinking. Exactly when they mentioned that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Bombs. Well, yeah. What do you do with those? I deactivate them. I don't drop them. I thought,
that's going to come in handy.
That's going to be clean.
And no matter where he went, monsters followed him.
He was a beacon.
He was. Why the army were trying to keep a track of Godzilla, I have no idea. They must have just stayed with him. Or may I say, could have been replaced by a plank of wood.
But the thing is, when Bryan Cranston's character goes, you lose Juliette Binoche's character. You think, oh, that's a shame. I would like to have seen more of her in the film. Then Bryan Cranston goes. You say, oh, that's a shame. I wanted to see more of him in the film. Who's left? Who's this guy again? Oh yeah, the son. Bomb expert. That'll come in handy.
Yeah.
All that kind of comes back into this one thought. Instead of actually being invested in the film and thinking, oh, he lost his mother. Oh, he lost his father.
Yeah, he's
on his own.
He's on his own. He has no parents. He's got nothing. But he doesn't even register.
And now his mission is to get back to his wife. It doesn't really register. You don't get it on that level. You don't kind of think, oh, I hope he gets back to his wife. I hope he gets back to his wife.
Yeah. And Elizabeth Olsen,
yeah,
criminally underused. They could have given us so much more, as apart from just she was in the right place at the right time.
That's true.
All the time, and she did well. You know, she acted a little socks off when she was.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here. You know you're only gonna be gone for a few days, right? And then you are gonna come back to me.
Yeah, but she didn't have any big monster setup stages to work on. I don't think a lot of it was just reaction to things. She didn't need to actually be aware of where to look the whole time like Aaron was. I think there's probably scenes of him where he's just standing there staring at things.
Well, there was that
or
scene
lying there
where he rings her up at the hospital,
yeah,
and she's in tears. You know, she doesn't know what's happening. She's only seen these things on the news, and you know she's in absolute tears. And Aaron's just like that. In fact, he's like this. Yes, I'm on my way. No emotion. Nothing.
And it seems like that usually you get the other actor on the other in the scene as well, acting and reacting accordingly. But
like what I would have wanted is have you seen The Impossible? Ewan McGregor. There's a scene where he rings up. I think he rings up his dad, and saying that we're okay now this has happened, but he's lost. He's split up from his wife. He doesn't know if his wife and his kids are if one of his kids are alive, and he loses it. He's on the phone to his dad and he loses it, and it's such an emotional, amazing scene. Really, really well acted. That's what you kind of want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I've just lost my family. I've just lost my parents. I'm trying to get to you and I can't.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
But yeah, because even when you see that scene on the phone, you don't think about. You need to be constantly thinking, oh my God, he just lost his parents. But you seem to, he's lost his mother already. He's lost his father. He's coming home. But for some reason, a part of you just ignores all that.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting for him to tell you that very thing.
Exactly.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't.
There's no, yeah. So it's a shame because I think that he's very capable. He was in the film Nowhere Boy where he played the young John Lennon, and there were scenes in that where he did break down and like he did lose it, and he rode the gamut of emotions in that film, and it's worth seeing because. It just goes to show, and I needed to see that film so that I knew that he had the chops for this. He had the chops for the film.
Well, could you not think that maybe an ego starts to come into play?
It's possible. It's the hunger.
Yeah, because like Kick-Ass, the first Kick-Ass, he was fantastic in that. I really liked that film, but the second film, gone.
Because he had no fear. I think fear in an actor helps a lot. I find that if an actor is in those early jobs, an actor will act his socks off because he doesn't know if it's going to be the last film. This could be the last film I'm in, and I still have to pay rent. I still have to, they're paying for stuff at the beginning of their careers. They're probably actually paying off things because they have been, they're in debt because their first or second jobs are always the best. I think in terms of performance, it's the breakthrough performances that establishes them, and then then someone says to them, "You're never going to be without a job. You're going to be able to get a job no matter what. Now you're such a good actor," and that's probably when they start to think, "Okay."
And it helps to have so many million in the bank as well.
Yes, generally it probably does.
There's a sign. I don't have to worry ever again.
But I mean, I don't know if he is actually making the millions, or is he? I don't know what the story is, but for me, it stands out. That phone call does stand out like it does to you, because you're wondering, does he know what he's doing? One, has he been told what to do? I mean, is it a director issue here? Is the director not giving him enough? I mean, we've seen what happens with George Lucas in the prequels, where he's just sitting on his chair looking across at the blue screen wall, and you've got Natalie Portman standing in front of him going, "You're joking. Is this what you want me to do?"
Blunder?
Under? This is ridiculous. This is just a mean joke. This isn't part of the movie at all.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You know, they have these vague looks of just look over there, and I don't think they're really aware.
But the thing with Lucas is he's openly admitted he doesn't enjoy directing. He doesn't like directing. No, he shouldn't. He should have given it to someone else.
Yeah, but
I get the sense that Gareth Edwards does enjoy.
He does. I mean, he wouldn't have made Monsters if he didn't enjoy it.
No.
But and plus the scene didn't have any CGI in it. It was an emotional telephone call.
And all the emotion come from Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, she projected.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you kind of felt for her more than anything. Even the kid, who he seemed quite natural.
Yeah.
Fairly natural. I think he had.
He did.
It was difficult because
you mentioned the kid. His mum says, "This is my friend from work. You've seen her, haven't you? Go get in this bus and go away from." That scene where she lets the child go.
Yeah.
Just on no sort of like, I'm gonna read someone.
But it just so happens that it's the bus with the bus driver who has an inkling about the bridge.
Out of everyone on the bridge, he's the only one who tries to escape.
It's like, hang on, I've got one of the main lead's son on my bus. I'm going to have to do something. It's like if characters become too aware, they become important parts in the storyline.
Yeah.
And their characters start to do things simply because their involvement with the main characters, and I don't like that. It's too artificial.
So we sort of established that there's there's plot holes.
Yeah.
It's generic. It's derivative of plenty of other action blockbuster films we've seen a million times.
Exactly.
What is its saving graces then?
I think the beauty of the visuals. The beauty of the visuals. It
looks amazing.
It does look amazing there, and there are some scenes where you can tell the director fell in love with the material. You
can tell that whoever's created these monsters, they love what they've done. They have painstaking eye to detail.
Yeah.
Just not one little thing overlooked.
And that is what is important. If we just ignore all the human aspect of the story, it is a monster movie. Time for it isn't good enough, Andy, and I agree with you, and that's why when you're going to hook up with your loved one from across the ocean, you're probably going to need some of these
liquid storage bags, because no matter how big the monsters are and how big the problem is, these will always sort it out.
Exactly. Perfect for those long journeys. Okay, that's done with that.
So that's the story. In a nutshell, that's what we've got.
Yeah.
So
we've got monsters.
Yes.
We're making money. Okay. So that's pretty much the movie.
That's the movie. So we've decided the plot thin.
Very thin. Dialogue clunky.
Yeah.
Exposition, because
heavy.
After all,
we can't think for ourselves.
No.
We need people to tell us throughout the film what's happening.
Characters are there for exposition, right?
That's all they're there for. And but visually, quite a spectacle. It's quite something to behold.
It is, definitely, and I think that if you can just, if you could not get hooked on the human problems and just go into the film and just sit back and enjoy the spectacle, then you won't be disappointed. And a lot of people who've seen the film are seeing it in that way.
Yeah.
They're not getting hooked on any details. But unfortunately, we've seen a lot of films, and we kind of know that the trips and the pitfalls of stories, and we know the setups and the payoffs. And when we can see them a mile off, if we can see things a mile off and they end up paying off exactly how we think they're going to pay off, then it's nothing new, and it's a shame that a lot of the film was like that.
So go in, switch your brain off.
Switch your brain way off.
And just let it wash over you.
And don't forget to buy plenty of popcorn, cheese, and the big tubs of drinks.
Huge drink. You could probably get things called combos now.
Yeah.
So if you ask for like a popcorn and they say, would you like to go large? Say yes.
Just say yeah.
And it'll be about
large.
that big of popcorn. You probably have a drink that you could swim in.
Yeah, because...
And make sure you've got ice in it, because...
You never know.
You never know.
You never know when you're going to need ice.
The thing with ice is Coke say that you should have so much ice.
Yes.
In a massive tub to really enjoy the refreshing taste.
Oh yeah, because ice
it's not to rip you off at all.
To dilute the drink.
No.
And there is no water in cheese.
No, they don't water down cheese with water.
Cheese. No.
And
yeah.
It's probably really good for you as well.
Yeah, everything that you get, the pick and mixes, the crisps, the chocolate,
the hot dogs, which are, if you think that if you're vegetarian, don't worry, there's probably no meat in there anyway. I think it's made up of like Chinese newspapers.
Totally. Fanatical about food. We are.
Film.
Fanatical
about film.
Yeah, because you don't like eating in the cinema, and neither do I. I only would do it if somebody else bought the food.
I mean, it's 2 hours out of your life. Can you just not eat for 2 hours? What are you, a child?
And it's the same thing. And you always get, when you go in and sit down, there's always going to be somebody who comes in, sits down, and the first thing you hear is.
Oh.
It's like they had to bring in their singularly wrapped Werther's originals.
Interestingly, we'll talk about Godzilla. If someone is eating in the cinema, you won't hear it.
No. The sound is quite spectacular. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. There we go. So that's Godzilla 2014.
Yeah. Other Godzillas are available.
Yeah, 26 or so of them, and one of them is actually called Gigantica. No, Gigantus, the Fire Monster. That's one of the American sequels.
Snappy title.
They tried to.
I'm going to go and get that.
They tried to step away from the Godzilla title because they thought, it's been done. Let's own Godzilla and call him Gigantus, the Fire Monster, which was incidentally the only other time that Warner Brothers has actually distributed as a production company a Godzilla film.
Really?
Was Gigantus, the Fire Monster? Yeah.
That was the only time they did it.
Says so on there, look, WB. On my notes. Yeah, it must be true.
Excellent.
Phone call.
Hello? We have to wrap it up. We're waffling.
Oh. Is it him?
It's him.
Did you say goodbye?
Yeah, goodbye.
Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that.
And see you next time.
Next time.
Liquid storage bags! You will never get caught short again thanks to liquid storage bags!
Here you get 8, that's right, 8 bags in which you can store your very own liquid items.
Bags are sold separately, liquid not included.
The attractive cardboard box is easy to open.
With each wonderfully transparent, durable, and easily accessible.
Ready to go! That's right, when you've gotta go,
liquid storage bags are there for you! Liquid storage bags?
That's right!
Liquid storage bags!
They're sleek, sturdy, and stylish. And what's more, you can write all the information you need right there on the bag. where the space is provided.
Warning, do not write on liquid storage bags. Liquid storage bags cannot be found in any store, by phone, or online.
So you know that liquid storage bags are the product for you.
And only you!
What's it called?
Liquid storage bags!
Ah, yeah! Liquid storage bags! Okay, wrapping camera 1, wrapping camera 2.